Well, you are listening to some live music with Mike Corry. He made it. You didn't get blown off the road.
I didn't. I dodged the wind the whole way.
Yeah, it is pretty bad down there.
It's
high winds.
Yeah, it's doing it.
Yeah, it's windy here, but it's nice. It's breezy, and with, let's see. Oh my God, the temperature is 60 degrees. It's like spring.
I know. It's so warm out there. That's the thing that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, as you can tell, Mike came from South County. You live right in Cannon Beach?
No, south of there. South of the tunnel, actually, down there in Arch Cape.
In the Arch Cape.
Yeah.
But you're still part of Clatsop County, I think, in the Arch Cape.
Right on the
just
border.
Barely.
Yeah.
Just barely. You can dual citizenship there.
Yeah.
So I discovered Mike. I like that. Through a newspaper article, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was fascinated. I couldn't figure out, who is this man? I'd not heard of him. It turns out you've been here for a while, and you've been making music, and you guys down there just kind of were sort of bandit musicians until finally Mike Duber decided to step out of the theater realm and get it back into the music realm and bring out all you old codgers, which happens to be the name of Mike's album, Codger Pole. So tell us, how long have you been there, and what's your music?
Well, we moved over from Idaho about 2000 is when we actually did the move in about 2001. Mm-hmm. And started the store there down in Cannon Beach.
And the store is?
Michael's Music.
Okay, well, there you go.
And that all happened just by circumstances. It turned out just perfect that we ended up. I was actually eating at, there used to be a Duger's restaurant there. Mm-hmm. And I was looking across the street at that old building, and I thought, man, that'd be a great place to sit out on the porch and play guitar and have a music store behind you while you're doing that, you know. And we hadn't planned on it for quite a few years, but then circumstances in Idaho, the economy was kind of dying where we were living, and so actually where we recorded the album out of Orofino, Idaho, it was based in logging, and logging was starting to change at that point, you know. And so they were trying to turn that area into more of a resort fishing area kind of a thing, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you say we, tell us who the we.
Well, that would be my wife, Ruth, and our 4 children, Josh Corry and Luke Corry, Megan Corry, and Katie Corry.
And a couple of them, I believe, are on your album? Or?
Yes, Josh and Luke both played. They were very young.
Oh, really?
Josh was like 18 and just barely 18. And Luke was either 15 or 16. I don't think he'd turned 16 yet. And
this is 10 years ago? Or?
This is 14 years ago.
14 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're old men by now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're getting in the codger realm for sure.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Wait.
That's why we had to release it, because we're all codgers. Yeah.
So, are they still making music, the boys?
Well, Josh is in quite a few groups. He's a professional drummer in Portland.
Nice.
And he's with a great musician called Jared Lawson, and they just toured part of Europe.
Oh, lovely.
And Jared's CD is doing great over in Europe. It's not kicking off here for some reason.
What kind of music is it?
It's like jazz soul. sort of, you know.
Well, we might have to get one for KMUN. We've got jazz every day, you
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
and
you guys,
blues every day.
we should turn you guys on to that. But and then he's in a Fish tribute band called Shafty, and they play at the Goodfoot, I think, over there every Wednesday, and so he's making a living at it.
You know
over
what's
there.
funny when you say a Fish tribute band? Living here, I immediately think FISH, and then I
Right.
go, whoa, wait, PHISH.
Right, that Fish, the other
okay,
Fish there.
Yeah.
And then Luke is in Chicago. He's a principal of a school, and he
Oh,
still
my
plays
goodness.
guitar and bass
Okay.
somewhat. He played bass for the CD. And
Good thing to do in the schools. So,
Uh-huh.
how far back do you go with music?
well, I started at 3, really.
Oh my gosh!
I remember that actually my mother and my uncle walked into the room when I was 3. I was asleep, and they said I was sitting up in bed conducting.
Wow!
And I started writing just a couple of years later. I've always wanted to be a composer and a songwriter, and so I've spent my life studying that and writing and playing. You know,
Did you have a music store in Idaho?
I did. We had a couple there
Okay.
that we started. One was in Lewiston, Idaho, and then we moved out of there. And then I wanted to. We'd already were living in Orfino, which is about 50 miles, I'd say, from Lewiston, up in the mountains there. And I always wanted to start a store up there, which I did, and that actually trained me for this area. I would say, you know, it wasn't it's not a very populated area here,
Right.
you know, and I didn't want to rely on tourism.
Right.
But and that's the way it was there. There's Kuski and Kamui and Peck and Weippe and all these little towns. That
I was
all
going to
kinda
say, what
central-
are those, animals or places?
Yeah, they're strange critters up there. Yes.
We don't hunt them, but there they are. So, well, we're delighted to have you here, and I am delighted to have you right here at in KMUN Studios. And
me
I want to
too.
tell our audiences that Mike Corry, although he is an old codger with a head full of beautiful white hair, he is a radio virgin. Now,
Oh, you let it out.
how many? Yeah, but how many things? You know, I'm not going to ask you to say what they are, but you know, at our age, to be a virgin in something is pretty cool. Huh?
You know, I should wear it as a little
There you
sticker
go.
on my.
I notice you're blushing, but that's okay. It's a good thing to be, and it's done now. You're finished. You've
I'm
got-
not a 62-year-old virgin, though. I didn't want to get that out there, though.
Well, why don't you play us some of your music?
Okay.
And I know you. The Codger Poll is songs, but then you sent me instrumental stuff.
Right.
So, do you go back and forth, or are you mostly instrumental, or what?
No, you know, as a composer, I don't like getting stuck into any genre. You know, so people say, "What are you? You play country or bluegrass or whatever?" And so,
I play me.
yeah, you know, or you know, whatever the muse is giving me at the time. And so, you know, I don't want to be limited by that. I have
Sounds good.
a lot of things that I'm working on that aren't the same. You know, and so those are really two completely different instrumental albums, both of those. And one was done on the old Martin. That's that Music Road album. And that was very difficult. It was during my illness that I recorded that.
Well,
And,
you know what's funny is that look at the picture on here. It looks like what the weather is right now. You're
right. Bill
standing out there-
Stidell did that for me.
Oh, no wonder it's so beautiful.
I was coming back from it's only found on that CD. That's Music Road that we're talking about there. And I was coming back from Portland one evening, and it was blowing sideways like it
Yeah.
is now, you know,
Yeah.
rain and everything. And there used to be a sign up there that said Music Road, up on is it 12 or 26 here?
26.
26, yeah. I was getting confused with Idaho.
Right.
And I saw it, and I saw that vision in my mind, you know, that picture. And then I thought, well, to get that actually taken as a photograph would cost me about $20,000 probably or something to get it set up right. So I happened to just mention it to Bill. I called him up and said I had this idea for a cover. And I said, but don't hurry because I haven't done the music yet. You know, I haven't even started recording. I'm just in the revelation stage of this. You know?
Cogitating, right?
Yeah. And anyway, the next day he walks in, he goes, what do you think of this? And I went, wow. You know?
Oh, my God.
So he got so inspired with the idea that he finished it, and that's only found on that CD. So I'm very proud of that.
That
he
is
did that for me.
fabulous. And for those who don't know, Bill Stidell is one of our local artists, wonderful artists. So what a nice combination here as well. Okay, so You can give us whatever you like if you want to tell us anything about the music, or if you want to just play and then tell us.
Would you like an instrumental first? Is that what we were thinking?
I'm going to throw this right back at your court. So you're welcome to do a song or an instrument.
Well, I have a song that really means a lot to me that I'd love to do, and it's not
Please.
on Quadrupole or on that, but it is. I released it as a single recently, and this song was really tough to write on a lot of reasons, and because I wanted to make sure I wasn't really offending anybody, because the idea of the song is called "Do No Harm," and I really wrote it with the idea of what's going on in the world right now. It seems like so many people are hurting each other and doing horrible things, and I think sometimes you just have to give the message to them so that they'll go, "Oh, wow, well maybe I should rethink this idea that I've got," And so I've had good feedback on it so far. So let me play
Please do. Do No Harm. My guest, Mike Corry.
There's only so much we can take. We're just made that way. When we lay ourselves down to rest, we'd like to know we're safe. Some believe there's a Father in heaven, holding them in His everlasting arms. Some believe there's nothing waiting for them, that when they're gone, they're gone. No matter what we each believe, there's a legacy we each could leave. Do no harm. Do no harm. Do no harm. You can let your light shine, but let's keep your love warm and do no harm. There's so much that we don't know, so much we can lose, but we can make it better, but only if we choose to. We can lend a hand, we could help our brother in misery, we could give peace another chance if we just let it be. Some say they have the truth, you know, they like to tell it to me and you. Some get it in a book, some get it from above, but I want to tell you, the only real truth I see is through the eyes of love. I want to see through the eyes of love. Help me see through the eyes of love. To do no harm. To do no harm. You can live your life. Let's keep your heart warm and do no harm. Do no harm, I say. I can hear the children cry. Do no harm. I even hear the earth sigh. Do no harm. Let's do no harm.
Oh, Mike, that is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful song.
I love that. That's close to my heart, that song.
Yeah. So when did you write that?
Just before we did that, songwriters...
The Hootenanny?
yeah, I actually wrote it for that.
Oh, my. So
Yeah.
that's like about a couple of months or something like that?
Yeah, a month and a half.
Month and a half.
Yeah, it's a pretty new song.
Yeah.
I'm still learning how to play it. You know, it takes years to learn these songs. You know, because that's why I have to keep words in front of me. Because I'm always, as a songwriter, I'm tweaking it every time I play it. You know, think, yeah, that would be better. No, this
Oh, that's cool. Meanwhile, the funny part is you're on radio. Nobody knows. I know you have words in front of you, but no, now you just outed yourself.
I'm a virgin. I don't know
There
what to
you go.
say. See.
Well, but that's good to let folks know that's not only okay, that's the way you do it, so that you're still working out how, and you're not,
Right.
and it's never going to be, when you play it live, it's never going to be exactly the same.
Right.
Hopefully you will have it
And how
recorded.
the whole thing about music is how it affects people, I think, you know, because it is a outgoing thing, you know. It's a lot of people tend to keep it within themselves all the time, and I'm very encouraging people to say, look, you need to get this out of yourself, because it's basically love in action, you know. You're giving it to people.
Well, I absolutely, and what's beautiful is that the way you just explained how you were able to get this out. It was in you, you're a songwriter, but where are you going to get it out? Well, hello, here comes an event or a venue or an opportunity of a bunch of old codgers making good music and saying, yeah, let's all, kind of in a way challenging each other. And oneself.
It is. There is an element of competition there for sure. You know,
keep the music coming.
Yeah, and you
the
want
rest
to be.
of us get to benefit.
You don't like making a fool of yourself in front of people too often, you know. So it's pretty good.
Oh, is that right? Oh, darn! I forgot about that.
Although I've done that before.
done
It's good to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of laughter in the community as well. Mike Corry is my guest. I almost said Mike Codger. I better be careful. I love that
What did you
word,
say?
you know. Mike Corry is my guest from Arch Cape, it turns out. So, you mentioned illness. I don't know whether you want to say anything about
Sure.
that, but you're welcome to tell us about
If
your
you have any questions or anything, well, I went through some pretty terrible skin cancers. I had some on my back and also on my nose, and I've lost my nose to cancer and also quite a bit of my back. You know, they did a lot of carving. You know,
Wow.
and but I'm here and I'm in better health than I've ever been, really.
And your voice sounds, no one would ever have a clue that there's anything been changed on your face. So do you do all your breathing through
They
your
also
mouth?
had to, this entire lip area here was rebuilt too during the, it was OHU who did it, you know.
Oh,
and
wow.
The whole thing was an amazing process, and I was in there for quite a while, about 10 days, I think, maybe more or less, I don't remember. But I'm glad I went through it. It was about 7 years. You know, there wasn't any health insurance. We couldn't afford health insurance during that time. And, you know, the economy had gone south, and so I was trying to keep the family together and work every day and all that stuff. So, you know, the way you can be, you know.
Putting things off.
Yeah,
You need
and
to
it just got, you know, to where it finally had to get done.
Or you
and-
could have died.
And I would have, yeah.
That was life
I think
and
I was
death.
pretty close.
Yeah.
I think I was right to
Yeah.
the point. You know, I was pretty gray and.
Wow.
And but every time the doctor sees me, he says, "Now, wow, your skin color," and you know, he's amazed. Dr. Anderson there at OHSU.
I'm
And
sure they are.
They're great people, and I was, you know, it was life changing in that sense. But like I said, during Music Road, I was recording that, thinking of grandchildren that hadn't been born yet, and you know, it's good to have goals, you know, or to have vision.
Raison d'être, a reason to live.
Yes,
actually.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, you must have been in really good shape before, though, to be able to sustain such massive surgeries.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess I was. I was quite overweight. I'm still, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
You look good.
Well, thank you. And you know, being a musician, you can tend to sit around a lot. You know, I wish actually I had
see.
started. I'm exercising for the last couple of years now, and have taken off some weight. And I think I don't have a lot of things that I regret, but I wished I would have started exercising at 30.
Well, you hear that, everyone out there?
Yeah, you know, and I would say that to anybody now,
Yeah.
is do it, because
Yeah.
we can always talk ourselves out of doing it. And it's not, some people like it, think it's fun. It's not really fun, but it's kind of like taking
Well,
your
for
medicine.
some people it
and-
is, but for the rest of us it is.
Yeah, it's like, you
It's
know, this
good health.
hurts, you know, so, but you just, that hurt actually gives you much more energy. And I find myself playing more now, writing more. You know, I'm more energetic. I have more, my mind's there.
So even while you were going through that, the music was still coming through you. That was your way.
Yeah. I wrote. Actually, I recorded with a gentleman that hired us up in Seattle. Josh and I recorded every Beatles song that exists. And we did all the tracks. You know, I'd played everything but the drums. I had Josh do Ringo. You know,
of course.
And it turned out great. I mean,
Oh,
but that was
right.
like I make a joke that I'm a professor of long hair now. But yeah, I'm always doing music. I would say, and yeah.
And when you're not out and about, do you still wear the bandage?
Yeah,
You
I
do?
do. You know,
Okay.
I still
Feel more comfortable.
Yeah, you know, I could get a prosthesis, but I don't know. I haven't really gone there yet, and that's expensive, and it's not covered by insurance.
And you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, and this works great. I breathe better, and
Do you breathe through the mouth though, or do you breathe through the
everything.
nasal area?
Oh yeah, I can breathe through this like
that's
better than
amazing.
ever. Yeah, and I was saying that my whole lip area was rebuilt, and when I got done with the operation, I had and you'll hear it once in a while, a little bit of funny way I say things, but being a singer actually helped me because I realized I had to pronunciate, and really speak with, you know, and sometimes you get lazy and you start, but you know, it actually works in blues better because you can do some certain, I found all good things with it, you know.
This is great. Well, give us another, now that particular piece, I wondered also, I may be wrong, but I'm thinking do no harm is also a Buddhist philosophy. It's also the medical philosophy. I mean, you know,
that's kind of where
I
was driving down the coast, and all of a sudden that thought came to me, do no harm, and I thought, yeah, I'll try to write a song like that. And as a songwriter, it's you know, you brought up that inspiration was in me, and actually that helped inspire it to get it done, you know, by then, because you can kind of put songs off and, you know, make 100 and you're all kind of tweaking on all of them, you know. But it was to get that message across of what you're trying to do is very difficult to keep focus on that, you know. And that's the craft of songwriting, you know. I would like to see a lot of people who write songs get more into the craft, not to kill the inspiration, but to get it so it's, you know.
Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah.
So do you give workshops?
No, I mean, I teach down there. You know,
do?
I do.
Private?
But I haven't really anybody sign up for songwriting classes, which would be great. I'd love to teach that.
Have you offered them? Have you talked
No,
about
not
it?
really, but I guess let's do it right now.
Nobody's going to sign up unless you let them know it's happening. So.
Hey, we're doing songwriting.
Okay, so Mike Corry. How does one contact you, Mike?
At the store there, Michael, you know, by phone or...
if they're right there in Cannon Beach, how about a phone number?
Yeah, I take smoke signals, too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Of course, in this weather, you don't see them very well, though.
First of all, tell us where the store is.
It's in Cannon Beach. It's at 131 Sunset Boulevard in Cannon Beach.
Sunset Boulevard. I didn't realize there was that.
Yeah.
And
I was trying to get 77 as
that would have been good, yeah.
But that shows that how old we are by saying that.
Yes, it does. 77 Sunset. Okay, so is there a phone number?
Yes, 503-436-1640.
1640.
Yeah.
So you can contact Mike directly at the store and talk to him about making music and also about where he's going to be playing and what else is going on. I know Paul I just got on this list. I had no idea it existed. Paul Duber puts out a music list for that whole area, and we know there's a lot of music going on there, but it was sort of helter-skelter. Now I've got the whole thing. So that's
the
great.
problem with Cannon Beach has been for quite a few years, there wasn't really much places to play. And so one of the things that Paul's been helping is to kind of expand that.
Develop
like during the summer, we were playing in the courtyard there at the bistro.
Yep.
And then there's the Sweet Basil that actually has.
They do have.
He used to be in Seaside, you know, that Cajun restaurant there, and then he's really into music, so he's got all those guys playing like Maggie and
Richard
T. and all those guys, you know.
Tomasian Trio.
So I'm glad to see that the Lumberyard used to have music back when we first moved here, but then they quit doing that because there was complaints about the loudness. But like Terry Robb used to come down.
That's right.
And we loved it. I mean, he used to give a place, and I was in the store yesterday jamming around, and I have these kind of backup tracks, and I was playing this guitar, playing lead over it, and John Broderick, who's part of
Fisher Poets.
Yeah. He came in, he goes, "Hey, where were you last night when we were trying to find music in town?" And I said,
see, so that John needs to get on Paul's list. He'll know where the music. But it's true. Astoria has become much better at having venues because we have so many fabulous musicians in this area. So
it's awesome.
It is terrific. Well, Mike, play us another song.
Okay.
We're talking too much, I know, but this is the first time I'm getting finally to meet Mike. We've tried to put this together for about 5 months or something.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I could do that Morning Dove song because I'm in that double drop D tune.
Okay, tell us about that.
Well, this is a song that's just it's like a lament, and there was a terrible tragedy that happened during the summer down there in Cannon Beach, and I was kind of working on this melody and this song around the same time. And there was this bird that kept hooting up in this tree, and I didn't know what it was, and I kept looking around thinking, why is an owl making noise in the middle of the daytime, And a friend of mine, a student, Peter, I said, "Do you know anything about birds?" And he said, "Oh, yeah, I know a lot about birds." And so I said, "Well, what is that?" I finally found out where the bird was, and it was sitting up in this tree, and he goes, "Oh, that's a mourning dove."
Oh.
And I went, ooh.
Wow, that's, of course, M-O-R-N,
yeah.
but you spell it M-O-U-R-N.
Oh, M-O-U-R-N, yeah, it's a mourning
Is
dove.
the original bird spelled that way,
it is
too?
mourning. It's a mourning dove.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes,
okay.
and I did a little research on it because I like to do that on songs, kind of get some background on it.
Yeah.
And that's them calling for their mate.
Wow.
And they're lonely, they're sad,
Okay.
And I thought, wow, that shows that's a cool idea, And so then I was kind of writing this lament kind of, and somebody said it sounds a little bit like a lullaby, and I thought, well, that's cool because this is for a little girl,
who was murdered,
who
in
lost her
Cannon
life.
Beach.
Yeah. And that was a topic that there's actually going to be an article in the Cannon Beach Gazette this Thursday that Eric Bengal is writing on this song. And we were talking about it the other day, just that this is a topic that's hard to write about without getting, and I did have a line in the song that mentioned that actually, and then I took that out because I thought that's too heavy. We don't need to go there really, and so it's more for healing for folks, I think, and just to show them that
we sure need plenty of that.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's about, and so I think everybody can relate to it. So here's the Morning Dove song.
Mike Corry.
Morning dove, don't sing for me, though your song, it sings so sweet. I lost my life to this raging sea, and I can find no lasting peace. No, I must not rest until I know why this darkness, it covers my soul, and into the light I must not seek until I wake from this dream. Morning dove, Don't weep for me, though your tears could wash me clean. For I would lose what's left of me if I listen to a song so sweet. Yes, I would lose what's left of me. Morning dove, don't sing for me. A morning dove, don't sing for me.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Ooh.
Beautiful. Yeah, it is. That's a powerful piece. Yeah.
I got to wipe my eyes.
Yeah,
on that one.
I know. Well, I'm thinking I have your Codger Pole album here, and it has a bit of a different sound because your sons Josh and Luke are on it.
Right.
Would you pick a number and tell me what?
Any number?
Any? Yes, don't watch my hands.
I can't read this. Are you kidding?
Oh, yeah. See, when I got
Now I
this
gotta
album,
look it up, yeah.
I
That's
wrote
why
to
you gave
Mike.
it to me, huh?
I did. I wrote to Mike and I said, how do you expect anyone to read this? It's tiny, tiny print.
Well, all these have great stories to them.
Okay, well, pick one and you can tell us the story and then we'll play the song.
Since we've gone through a couple of pretty heavy messages, maybe we'll do... let's do the Flood of 96. How about that?
What number is it?
I'm sorry. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. See, I know that song.
We do have some of those. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything we need to know about this before I play it, or should I just?
Well, it's about. Well, yeah, I did want to say something actually. You know, in 2007, I want to thank KMUN because you guys, we were down in Arch Cape area there, and there was no electricity, no help, no, you couldn't get out, and the only voice that was coming across the airwaves was KMUN.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. And you guys were talking about some tree had fallen on here.
On the
and
house.
you had to, and so I wanted to thank KMUN for that because that really brought the community together in a way that nothing else could have. And so that was really awesome. And I want to thank you for that. And like in the same way, Flood of 96 is about this huge rain and what do they call it? Drainage of the snow happened in Orfino area and Lewiston and all there during 96. Yeah. And it was actually the National Guard was involved in it and everything. And we were actually stuck in Orfino. We couldn't get out. And so this song, there was a guy I knew, I think his name was Bill. He was an older gentleman. He was about 80. And I met him when he started lessons at 80. So we got any old folks out there who want to start?
There you go.
Just start at whatever age.
I might have to sign up. I'm getting there.
Yeah, well, you can start earlier. It's okay, But anyway, he lived in Peck, and which is a little town outside of Orfino, and going up from Lewiston there up on Highway 12. And he had a feeling like he should get out of the trailer for some reason. And his wife was in a wheelchair and on oxygen, so he wheeled her out into the driveway there, and he heard this horrible rushing noise, and he turned around and the trailer was gone. And this flash flood had come down and taken that out. So she ended up passing away less than a year later because she was so broken up about them losing their house and stuff, And he came in, he told me the story and started lessons, and he got better, at 80, and I was really inspired by that you could keep going, at any age, But anyway, all the references in this song are all true. What happened that day, those couple of days during that flood, and actually a guy named Earl called me up. I was down in Lewiston. He said, "You got to get back up there because they're closing all the roads," and he knew the whole area, and so it was like I had to go through this one little town. I can't remember what the name. No, it wasn't Lenore, but it was like, I wasn't in Vietnam, but I imagine it looked like that because the water was up to the railway and it was coming over, and there were like animals floating out there, and there was like this fog, and it was just weird, and I was just heading as fast as I could. I had to come back up over the hill to get down into her, and if I hadn't, I would have been away from my family for about 3 or 4 days at least, because they got blocked up there. So it's about overcoming in times of adversity. And we did that as a community here. And
well, we might have to get you to write a song for us for the storm of 2007. We actually just had a one-day fundraiser, and we do it every year on the anniversary of that storm.
I did.
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about that. Let's hear this one now. Whoa, this is so exciting, Mike. I'm so glad we finally made it. Tell me the name of this one again. Number 9.
This is called Flood of 96.
Okay. Mike Corry is my guest here on KMUN, the station that was on the air, KMUN KTCB.
I watched my house go down a field creek. Jehovah's Witnesses followed right after it. I took a look up and down my street. Water was rising, getting about knee deep, and sometimes it's only bad luck you'll see. Was the flood of 96, couldn't get the best of me. Right with a man-made fiddle, the roads caving in. An hour later, he was gonna give me ruins. Earl called me, said they're gonna close the road, heading down out of Kendrick into Orfino. And sometimes it's only bad luck you'll see. It was the flood of 96, could not get the best of me. I'm gonna play a lead, Mike. Ow! Woo! Smoke that guitar. I can do that. That's a good lick. Going to see you. You do that though. I'm the flood of 96. Well, my wife is gone and I live alone. Almost took my will to live when they took my happy home. What can they do to me at 73? That bad luck ain't done already 50 times to me, and sometimes it's only bad luck you'll see. It was a flood of 96 that couldn't get the best, couldn't get the best, could not get the best of me. It was a flood of 96 that couldn't get the best, could not get the best, couldn't get the best of me. Can't get the best of me. Yeah. Can't get the best of me, no. Listen to the midnight rambler. He's the one that's gonna cut your throat. Ooh, midnight rambler. Hey, watch me now.
Yeah, I'm asking, that was wonderful, and we're going to get that KMUN song, I don't know, recorded or get you.
It actually, now that I'm inspired, I'll get it done.
You'll get it done, and then we'll get you up here to play it.
Well, there's this one kind of tongue-in-cheek song. I ended up writing about 3 or 4, I think, and one is about, I think it's this guy's talking to his wife that left during the storm because he wanted to get her to safety, you know.
Yeah,
and
she
he's
never
telling
came
her,
back. Oh.
well, you know, well, sort of. He's saying, "Don't come back, sweet Marie, because there's nothing left."
Oh, whoops.
It all got blown away, you know. So.
Yeah, well,
and he's talking about different things like, well, there goes the toaster, and you know,
right.
there goes the
Fortunately, we're still here. You know, that's the good news. So, yeah. So, shall I play something off either that album or one of your other albums?
Whichever you'd like.
Give folks a taste of
Music Road. There's a good Spanish song that starts off called La Mica.
Okay.
And originally, it's number 1.
Oh, good, because
I thought I'd help you out there.
Can't read the print on that one either. Man, you used red on dark background in whatever font that is, something like 4.
Well, these are homespun, you know, so
us old codgers, though, we need bigger print.
I know. I'm going to make a bigger. Well, see, they're not on albums anymore. You can't do that big size stuff, you know. So.
There we go.
Okay, but La Mica was going to be
La
a song that I was going to try to call it the Green Card Blues.
Oh.
And I kept asking Spanish gentlemen and people,
yes.
you know, like, what's the derogatory term towards the green card, you know?
Yeah.
And I couldn't get an answer from anybody, and I kept getting all these stupid things. And then I was reading this article at one point, and somewhere about and I don't know why I was doing it, but it was about at the border, and it said that they stand in the shadows and say, La Mica, La Mica. And I went, oh, that's what I want, you know, because they're giving away the green card to people coming across, and they're actually illegal cards, I think, or something.
They probably won't last, but they sound good.
Yeah. And then I found out there's no term for blues in Spanish, so it's just called La Mica.
Okay, here we go. Mike Corry, La Mica, from his album Music Road. That's my guest, Mike Corry. Woo! And I'll just bring that down a little bit from his album Music Road. He's got 3 of his albums here. And you can check his website. What is that, Mike?
Mike Corry Music, all one word, .com.
And that's MikeCorry. Music.com. And then you can find out where to get his music. And again, if you're in Cannon Beach, just stop by the store on Sunset Boulevard. I just love that. And and say hi and check out the music, or find out where music is happening all over that area. I don't remember my Paul Duber's connection, but you can get that music. I think he'll probably put just about anybody on the list because he put me on, so why not?
Well, him and his wife own Maggie and Henry's down there, and they could probably contact him through there. I don't have it by memory what he did on that either.
Right.
But
I get a listing every week of what music is going on down there. So, well, thank you so much for coming in. I've got a bunch of things to read here, and I'm going to ask Mike to play some background guitar. Oh, I forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay.
I'll take your voice mic out and put your guitar mic on, and then I'll read what else is going on in the area coming up. I know I'm a little early, but I want to have plenty of time. The North Coast Chorale's annual holiday concert, Holiday Traditions from Around the World, will be at the CCC Performing Arts Center. That's 16th and Franklin, Saturday, December 13th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, December 14th at 2 p.m. And the chorale will be joined by the Clatsop County Children's Chorus on some pieces. Astor Street Opry presents Scrooged in Astoria through December 21st. At the Playhouse, 129 West Bond Street. Bayside Singers present a free concert, Love Came Down at Christmas, directed by Barbara Polshuk, 3 p.m. Saturday, December 13th at the Ocean Park Methodist Church. Local artist and writer Susan Ramersa is exhibiting her art and photography at the Seaside Library, December 10th through January 27th. And Ara Lee's CD release with Catherine Clare and Chris Hayes will take place at Calas, 1017 Marine Drive, Thursday at 7:30. The Artists Gallery on 10th Street, that's on 10th. That's the pop-up gallery featuring all local Clatsop County artists will join in with the December 13th Astoria Art Walk. And that's, happening this Saturday night. And it's always fun to take advantage of that. Shelburne Inn in Seaview hosts an art show titled Truth Telling with 4 local artists. That's David Campiche and Laurie Anderson and Dwight Caswell and Rhonda Grudnick, featuring pottery, photography, painting, Saturday the 13th from 1 to 4. Psychedelic folk musician B plays Sunday, December 14th, 7:30 at Gala. And you can also hear B on KMUN's Day of the Velvet Voice, Monday, December 8th. I guess that was last night. No. That doesn't work, because that was last night and Slab was on. So maybe it's next week. I'll check and see. Hook and Anchor. Ooh, I didn't know about this. We'll be performing original music plus the Fleetwood Mac album's Rumors in its entirety. Sad, sounds like the Beatles, huh? This is Fleetwood Mac. Saturday, December 13th at the Columbian Theater in Astoria. Gabe Roselle will open. Doors at 9:15. 21 and over. North Coast Chorale. I think I already said that. This is a repeat. Okay, that's what else is going on. And, of course, much more. You don't want to miss the Ugly Sweater 5K Run Walk, which is Saturday the 13th at the Seaside Convention Center. And that's a lot of fun. And Beers to Your Health is at the Lovell Showroom, 14th and Duane. and it's a monthly food and wellness lecture. Modern Farming Pioneers is coming up Thursday the 11th. And Redmond Hall in Skamakawa is offering a holiday open house from noon to 4 December 11th. Okay, I do want to, give you a little bit more about who else is supporting Coast Community Radio. Thanks for being here, folks. KMUN Astoria, KTCB Tillamook, coastradio.org, wherever you are in the world. Keep listening, and we'll keep playing.
Locally owned businesses recycle a much larger share of their revenue back into the local economy, enriching the whole community for generations to come. Arbor Care Tree Specialists and Coast Community Radio thank you for shopping local this season. Arbor Care Tree Specialists online at arborcarenw.com, 503-791-0853.